Hi, Ben Borsht here. Let's get cooking. We're going to poach some chicken, and this is a really simple recipe. You can add any herbs or spices that you want to. We're going to use a bit of rosemary, garlic, peppercorns. Peppercorns are a real sort of staple in poaching chicken. You could add cloves, star anise, any kind of herbs, thyme, any of the hard herbs, sage. Anything like that would work well. And we're going to use the chicken breast from the chicken that we broke down in an earlier segment. Very easy to do, but a very economical way of purchasing chicken, and definitely something for you know, the everyday cook. I think if you can buy a chicken and get comfortable with breaking down a whole bird, it's definitely the way to go. So we're just going to place our chicken breasts into a cold pan. And we want a nice deep-sided pan so that we can cover the breasts with water. You could also use chicken stock if you wanted, but we're just going to use water today. We're going to add our herbs in, nice sprig of rosemary. We're just going to crush some garlic cloves. Just using the back of our knife, just give it a hit. And we just want to crack them apart. Got about 2.5 cloves of garlic here. And they're just going to release all their beautiful flavour into the water. Chuck them in. We've got about 10, 11 peppercorns there. Chuck them in. And we're going to cover the whole lot of chicken with cold water. Get our pan on. Start bringing it up, and we want to get that on the boil as quickly as possible. So just covering that chicken breast with water. We need to bring the water in the pan up to the boil. But while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to show you how to make a cartouche. And the cartouche is just a piece of baking paper that I folded into a square. So fold it in quarters. Fold it into quarters. And then half and half again. So we've got a nice triangle. We get our kitchen scissors and place it over the top of the pan, roughly about center of pan. And we're just going to cut around that edge of the pan and create a nice round. The idea of the cartouche is just to go over the top of the water, and it holds all the liquid in the pan. Instead of a lid where you have the separation between the liquid and the bottom of the lid, we're just going to put the cartouche over the top, and it'll keep in all our liquid and all our flavour. Some people have asked me what's the best way to season and get the seasoning right with their poached chicken, and I think without adding any salt, you can season up poached chicken really nicely. Peppercorns are great. They really impart that nice subtle heat, and using you know, fragrant herbs like rosemary and garlic will really punch in some flavour to your chicken. Getting your seasoning right now isn't necessarily essential with poached chicken. You can always add more flavour later on, bit of extra salt, or use a sauce. You could serve poached chicken with salad, you know, make up a beautiful salad with beetroot and rocket and goat's cheese and walnuts, and you know, have some sliced chicken over the top of that, or whatever salad you prefer. We're not far off from coming up to the boil now. And I think we'll just chuck our lid, our cartouche over the top. And once we get a rolling boil, we're going to drop the temperature down. So just push down on the lid, push down on the cartouche. Don't burn yourself. And that's going to help keep all that water and all that flavour inside. We want to cook the chicken on this side in the pan for about 5 minutes. And then after about 5 minutes, we'll turn the chicken over and cook it for a further 8 minutes until it's cooked through. Okay, so we've been cooking the poached chicken now on one side for 5 minutes, and we're just going to remove the cartouche. Just be careful, it's steamy. Just put that down. And we're going to turn the chicken over. Turn that chicken over. Place the cartouche back on. Press it down. We're going to give that another 8 minutes with that heat reduced, but the water is still very hot, almost boiling. Okay, so the chicken's been on the other side now for 8 minutes, and we just need to turn the pan off and let it rest in the poaching liquid for 5 minutes. That just gives the chicken the time to rest and all those juices to remain inside, and just make sure that the breast is cooked right the way through. I also find it really handy if you want to store the poached chicken. You can just take the breast and put it into a Tupperware container and put all that poaching liquid into the Tupperware container as well, keeping that chicken nice and moist. And that'll last about a week and a half in the fridge. Okay, so the chicken's been resting in the poaching liquid for 5 minutes, and now we'll just remove the cartouche from the pan. Drain the breast off. Pick off any little peppercorns that got stuck to it. Ooh. And we'll just slice it up nicely. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't think there'd be anything better than serving that beautiful, succulent piece of poached chicken breast with the chicken jus that we made in an earlier segment. Just drizzle over. Nice, generous helping of that chicken jus. Serve that with some nice steamed broccolini, green beans, little season with some rosemary, just to reinforce the flavors that we put into the poaching liquid and the jus earlier. And I think that's a winner. And that's my poached chicken with chicken jus. Thanks for joining me. You can find all my recipes at benborsht.com.au.